Hello and good afternoon and welcome back to my channel. Right, a little bit on immigration and some updated news. Right, this will be interesting. Right, why has immigration fizzled out as an issue? Well, a dramatic decline in numbers seeking asylum will be seen by some as evidence that Ireland has become less welcoming. But that's what the government wanted, and that's what they're not sharing with you. So, there were two stories about immigration matters this week that goes some way to explaining one of the more remarkable and yet unremarked upon stories in Irish politics over the last 12 months. How immigration fizzled out as an issue. Now, firstly, the state's human rights watchdog warned the government that it has significant concerns about legislation due to be tabled in the Dáil in the autumn to implement the EU's Migration Pact, saying that in an analysis of the general scheme or heads a summary of what the bill intends to do of the International Protection Bill 2025 ongoing to 26, released on that coming Tuesday in regards to the Irish Human Rights and Equality Commissions, says that a tougher new asylum system may fail to protect and vindicate the human rights of asylum seekers. It also says the new system could end up being bogged down in the courts, that I have no difficulty in believing. So for many thousands of others as well. And the second story reported that Minister for Justice Jim O'Callaghan briefed the Cabinet Committee on Immigration that there has been a large fall-off in the numbers seeking asylum here in the Republic of Ireland in the first half of the year. In conclusion, O'Callaghan revealed that there has been a 43% drop in the number of international protection applications in the first 6 months of 2025, ongoing to 26. Compared to the first 6 months of 2024, ongoing to 25. For some people, the dramatic decline in numbers will be sent as evidence that Ireland has become less welcoming to asylum seekers, less likely to offer shelter and sanctuary to those who say they need it. And that is something that many people will regret. Certainly it will not be welcomed by the Human Rights Commission now and in the future. But saying that this is exactly what it wanted from the government and the politicians, regardless. They've been saying it day in, day out. Cast your mind back to the first half of last year when immigration was the hot button political issue. The numbers of those coming to Ireland seeking asylum had rocketed since the end of the pandemic and were continuing to increase. The Irish system was becoming overwhelmed. It ran out of places to accommodate asylum seekers. A tent city sprang up around the Mount Street headquarters of the Asylum Service in Dublin 1 and Dublin 2 area. Clearing the tents and sending asylum seekers elsewhere was one of the first moves by Simon Harris when he became Taoiseach last year. It didn't solve the problem of their lack of accommodation, of course, but it certainly made it less visible compared to London and other surrounding areas in the UK. In parallel, the government made several moves to ease pressure on the asylum service by dissuading people from coming here, principally by telling them before they arrived that there was no accommodation for them, and by increasing its efficiency, more staff were allocated in different counties around the Republic of Ireland and Ireland itself. However, more countries were designated as safe, processing times were cut and deportations, largely symbolic but important, returned. Gradually the political temperature of the immigration issue began to ease, so says them. Court ruling would give newly arrived asylum seekers more rights than homeless people, saying that the minister claims obviously they're doing their job, but they ain't doing jack. In the Department of Justice, Jim O'Callaghan has continued the policy of the last government with, if anything, more vigour. He is developing a new migration and integration strategy in a speech at the Institute of International and European Affairs on Wednesday. He summed up the more robust approach that is now the government's modus operandi. Yeah, right. The right to apply for asylum does not and cannot equate to a right to asylum. If you are generally in fear of persecution, Ireland is here for you. We will process your application quickly and we will give you every help that we can to integrate into our society. Yeah, we know, everybody knows how long the process is, especially for new asylum seekers. But then he added, if you are not in fear of persecution but wish for a better life for yourself and your family, that is also legitimate, apparently. But our asylum laws are not here for everybody's use. They are there to protect the persecuted. The work visa laws are there to enable people to seek an economically better life here for many foreign internationals if they want to settle here. It is not legitimate to claim that you require international protection when you do not. It is unfair on the people who do. Now, I suspect myself, like many other Irish do, this is an approach that will chime with a lot of people. Repeated polls have found that the public favours tougher immigration policies. Yeah, we all do. And so Fianna Fáil and Fine Gael, would you believe, have given people what they want, little by little, but haven't implemented it fully. Publishing a white paper on immigration in 2021, back then, the former Minister for Integration, Roderick O'Gorman, once tweeted in 8 languages, including Arabic, Georgian, Albanian, Somali, and Urdu, that the government would end the system of direct provision as part of improvements to the asylum system. If you can believe that, yeah. To be fair, O'Gorman, that was a laudable goal, even if he was about to be mugged by reality in the post-pandemic world. With millions of refugees on their move in search of safety and a better life, it was something for which Ireland was unprepared for. Now, another lesson that the world is as it is rather than as we would like it. O'Callaghan has yet to tweet in Urdu. This will be a dramatic immigration law reform in Ireland change the number of people seeking asylum. There are 2 perhaps uncomfortable truths which underlie the national and European response to migration in the Republic of Ireland and the politics it can ignite. The first is that the entire system of international protection, where countries are legally pledged to offer asylum to people fleeing political persecution from the war in other ethnic origins of the world, is based pretty much on the presumption that the numbers arriving in any given country will be manageable both logistically and politically when trying to seek asylum in the Republic of Ireland. The second is that the last 10 years of politics in Europe suggests that, if not all European countries, there is not public assent for the arrival of large numbers of migrants from Africa and the Middle East and Asia. To finish that up, and so European politicians have realised that they can deal with this by reducing migrant levels, or their voters will elect somebody who will. I suspect that Ireland is no different, and they will continue regardless to make it a lot tougher in regards to ethnic origins and their rights, and obviously minimise numbers coming in. That's what they want, but it's not proven to be a simple task. So in regards to that, I will update you and give you more video content. So like, subscribe, and I'll get back to you. Thank you very much.